Hello and welcome back to Panzer Corps Multiplayer series, and well, to switch it up a little bit, this time I have a balanced map and a balanced game for you. A lot of people in the chat and the comments requested, more balanced plays. I still do enjoy the unbalanced maps of the regular campaign, but here we go. This is Urban Warfare, and this time I will show a replay. It's not played live, so you can't watch the other side on Goose channel, and we will go into this watching Goose play. So I've not seen this so far, what he has done, so this will be a first watch for me too. Let's switch into the game and take a look at the map. It's absolutely huge, and what we are facing here is a standoff between the Allies and the Soviets. So we have the British sector over here. It's clearly defined by this river that's cutting the map not exactly in half, but yeah, hi Trangili, I'm going to narrate the game, and I already know what happened, of course, but I've not seen Goose side so far, so it's interesting for me as well, and I will try to explain everything that's happening. Soviets start over here, Americans start there. Goose is playing both US and British, of course, and big maps like this are always very interesting, especially in multiplayer, because you have options. The British, of course, will try to move here, secure those positions, and the Americans can swing around or ignore this part completely. Soviets the same. They could concentrate forces or spread out, and it's always a fight for initiative in multiplayer, pretty much like chess. So let's see, and let's hope the replay system doesn't fail us completely. Let's see. Especially in the beginning, there will be huge breaks because you can't see the Soviet side moving because it's not in vision range, so it will take a while. So that's done. Hi Idleclease. Hi Nanera Gamemnon. Yeah, I hope I got this right. So you immediately see Goose rushing forward. And that's something I did not do because I didn't know the map beforehand. So I was a little bit more cautious because I feared running into enemy units instantly. And the first few turns are just spreading out, moving forward, so nothing too exciting will happen. But units are moving quick, so it shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, let's actually stop here for a moment and take a look. So he's completely spreading out, rushing ahead with the British units, and let's see what he actually did by. That's a good idea as well. And you start with the armored trains. So yeah, and he is completely spread out, and you can immediately tell if a unit doesn't have the golden circle around. That's an auxiliary unit, so he didn't buy those. But it's very hard to keep track of everything here. A lot of movement and a lot of units, but it will get extremely interesting very soon. Once the forces start to clash, we'll start to see more, and there will be very interesting battles. But on the first few turns, not too much is going to happen. And I know the replay system isn't perfect, but playing live isn't perfect as well. So we will make the best out of this. So, still going forward at full speed. Goose that is. And I'm still completely in the dark and can't see anything. He can't see anything too, so... Yeah, and grabbing all those victory locations is very important because, yeah, you see, the income is going up, and this is a high prestige battle, so you get 675 prestige per turn. So, yeah, here's my first unit in sight. Brave Cavalry Scout. And yeah, this is... Let's pause here and take a look. So we pretty much cut the map into half now. I think this road here, the E Street, basically is the demarcation line where both sides are supposed to clash. And yeah, Goose, like I said, is very well spread out. He cut off this bottom half of, well, he took the the northern part of the map. There is prestige to grab here, so it's a good idea to do that. And yeah, setting up positions here, going forward, and yeah, let's take a look what I am doing. Still going forward at full speed. That's brave. And if you have any questions, just hit it in the chat. I can stop at any time. Yeah, and that's... Wow, that was a horrible hit for me, against me. And that's already, you're seeing I'm moving forward in a very protected manner, not dashing ahead, but already setting up defensive positions. And this is one of my hero units, so losing him is not good right from the start. Yeah, here we go. So my initial defense already shattered. But the Soviets are perfectly fit for doing attritional battles. So I absolutely like playing the Soviets in multiplayer. And we are past the initial turns, so action will start right away. I don't know what Goose is doing here. Maybe taking screenshots and memorizing everything, I don't know. Oh, God. Let's try again. But the replay system is so completely... So let's try. I think we were on turn 4. Let's try again. Here comes my counterattack. Trying to take down one of his tanks. It's always very important to finish off units. Even if I have to go in and sacrifice my Soviet artillery. Not my Soviet artillery, my cavalry. And this tank gets away. That's bad. Wow, that was really bad luck. But you can already see now I can see where Goose is. So I'm aggressively moving forward, building defensive positions, using the trenches, and preying on his weaker tanks. I'm trying to stop, but it simply doesn't do it. So here we can see already some interesting things about urban warfare. So you always want to block the avenues with your big tanks. This is another of my hero tanks. Goose has some as well. And yeah, pushing forward, trying to exploit weaknesses, outflanking the enemy, taking out artillery positions, and yeah, attacking weaker tanks with your strong big tanks. You want to maximize destruction you're doing, and he will try to do the same. You saw him taking out one of my T-34s earlier. You don't want to do combat on IS-2 action too much, because you want you to use your IS-2s on those Challengers and Shermans. Yeah, just to do maximum damage. Yeah, here a very nice move where I outflanked his position, at the same time blocking the bridge and trying to protect my cavalry by circling around and damaging all tanks here, so that he is not able to counterattack anymore. Infantry holding the city hexes backed up by artillery. So that's my basic layout. You will see that all across the place. And here I'm trying to spot concentrations of forces, building a huge concentration of force myself here in the center, trying to prevent him from going into this memorial park, because it will be very difficult to get him out of this foresty area. But there's a huge concentration of American forces pushing into here, so I'm not sure if I'm able to hold this off. And I've not very many units in the north, so I will get overwhelmed there, it seems. The thick forests, you can absolutely use those, but trying to do maximum damage, finishing off units, not very successful at that. And here comes the counterattack. Yeah, the replay is pretty annoying. with this overlays. So let's stop and see what happened here. Yeah, here the Pershings are coming in, outflanking my position. So yeah, he's doing the same to me. Like I did down here, going around, pushing units aside and getting ready to attack the artillery. There will be a lot of losses and extremely fierce fighting all around. But you can already see that Goose has the initial advantage. He covered more ground. And relentlessly destroying exposed units here. Grabbing every single piece of prestige you can is always very important. Moving back to be able to repair. Wow. My IS-2 is not having his best day. Even the scout is doing better. But as long as he doesn't get destroyed, it's not that bad. And British attack is pushing me back quite a bit here. And the US forces are boxing me in. So I'm not in a great position here. So Goose is doing whatever again. I hope this doesn't crash the replay again. But I honestly don't know why he's doing this. Probably noting down the stats on each of his units. I really don't know what this is about. I hope this is going to stop. Well, one moment. Let's try. Maybe I can switch to my turn. No, not really. Ah, I can. No, we've already seen that. So let's try it this way. Yeah, that's working. Sorry, but I have to stop goose shenanigans. It's impossible to watch that otherwise. Yeah, this is my counter push, so I'm very much focusing on the British, trying to fight for each city hacks here. And one moment. Yeah, I have a slight positional advantage here because I am trying to encircle some of his units and hitting the weakened British position from the side, and at the same time pinning him down on the front so he doesn't have the ability to get out of here or threatening me here. So, and then I have to pull myself out of this situation. I am giving up attack here, reverting to a defensive stance. And trying to block the approach avenues with big heavy tanks. And artillery that's guarding itself is very important. Important surrender here. Now I can outflank him, drain the ammo, and not kill off the scout. Getting rid of the scouts is super important. So let's see. I am yeah, it doesn't go away. One moment. So, let's take a look. I'm in a good position against the British down here. I am encircling, I don't know what is called in English, this block. I'm encircling the forces inside here. I'm getting pushed back around this park. No way I'm going to hold here. So I'm trying to form a new line. That's right here. And in the north, I don't have enough units to hold here. So I'm trying to stabilize the front somehow, bringing my armored train forward just to be able to hold. But that doesn't work out too well for me. And he's trying to break out of this position. But he has not many units in the back. So I'm not sure if he's going to get out of here. Well, now he's fleeing, so it was very crucial for him to destroy my scout here. And here begins the fight for the memorial park. And let's see if my impromptu defensive line here holds. Colonel Carter is holding on. And he is trying to relieve pressure on the British units. And once again trying to break out of the encirclement. But his units are very damaged around here, so I have a chance. But it seems my encirclement failed and he pulled himself out of here on both encirclements. Here we go. Finally bringing up some heavier tanks. Relieving pressure, destroying tanks wherever we can. And trying to stabilize. So, suddenly the British here are in a very good position. So, my IS-2s have to save the day. And Major Wesley is down. Huge victory for me. Might even be able to force a surrender on Lieutenant Lewis. And Lewis goes down. That's a huge win for my side. And the British now, again, are in a very bad position. And this British sector is under huge pressure also. So, trying to kill off infantry units. If you take a look, it's very important to take control of those bridge areas because they allow to control the flow of units. Cut into here, so I'm positioning my cavalry unit here just to prevent his tanks from being able to support the fight. And Goose doesn't have anything here. So if I break through, I am completely threatening him because he has concentrated a lot of forces here where it's not going well for him. And he has concentrated the majority of his American forces here around the Memorial Park. So if you take a look at the strategic situation, I have a huge force concentration where he is weakest. And I try to stem the tide where he is strongest. And we both are very strong here. And I'm completely overwhelmed in the north. That's another infantry unit down, and another infantry unit down. And we secured this block. And those Germans are very difficult to deal with. Because they have high close defense values. So it's almost impossible to destroy him. Yeah, and pulling up cheap infantry units just to block him and delay him. He's trying to pull damaged units out and stabilize his front. But I think he feels threatened now, because now he is reverting to a rather defensive stance. Well, we already know that this can take quite the time, what she's doing here. So let's try to switch to turn 7 and see what I can do. So I am still very threatened here in the center. I have pushed him back. He's trying to bring in reinforcements just to plug the gap or plug the hole. He is very much in control of the Memorial Park, and he is very much in control of the northern part of the map. So this should start my turn. Yep. We'll try to force surrenders. That's another British infantry down. Replenishing units wherever I can. And those Churchills are a huge pain. So we'll try to overwhelm it, but they are almost indestructible. I'm pulling up reinforcements just to prevent a breakthrough. Hi, Ernst. And another surrender. Super important to get rid of these infantry units. And looking at this situation, my cavalry is blocking reinforcements and providing spotting information, and I'm exploiting my advantage by having gained control of one of the city blocks. So now I can swing around and hopefully take out another block and hit him from the back. And in the north, I'm ignoring his forces pretty much and trying to block them with weak units. Using the bocage here. Basically, conscripts holding the line. Making sure we have enough time to win the battle on the other side. But it doesn't look so good. Memorial Park is lost. And let's see if we can hold him back here. He's bringing in big artillery. I still have nightmares about those things. But conscripts are very tough to deal with. It takes a lot to take them out, and they're super cheap. So this is the secret weapon of the Soviets. Same here. It takes a lot of shots to deal with a conscript. British are reinforcing. But you can see that Goose is already forced to react to things. Yeah, he's doing damage to my infantry. But he's not making progress anymore. And if I can keep singling out his tanks and getting rid of them, that's very good for me. And having units in the trenches is super important because they are almost impossible to kill here. At least it soaks up a lot of firepower. Trying to finally get rid of him, Lieutenant Simon, but he refuses to die, even without ammunition. Yeah, he is unkillable. Probably should have. So, one moment. Probably should have focused on other units, like this crocodile maybe. But this is the most exposed unit, and I absolutely want to get rid of him because he's a huge pain in the ass. And here I'm reverting to a defensive stance. You can see this is a super strong line. I can't do anything here. And trying to defeat him in detail. Controlling this bridge. This allows reinforcements. Controlling this bridge again. This allows reinforcements. And now I'm trying to scout out the back to see if there is a threat lurking in the background, so I can try to crush resistance in here. And blocking the city hacks also very important, because now he can't get in reinforcements. And Colonel Carter is fighting for his life, but he's holding on for now. And I don't think I have anything that can finish him off, but I'm pulling tanks forwards into the trenches just to prevent any breakouts and reinforcements from going in. Now, desperate battle for the bocage here. This is a delaying action from my side. And don't let units escape. And conscripts all the way. They are perfect to hold the bocage here. So my artillery now is vulnerable. Simon is getting out. He's trying to protect, but I have gained control over a few hexes at least. And this forces him to start giving up this position. And he is getting out of here. And as long as I can contain them in the north, that's good news for me. So now taking over the next block. Getting rid of a heavy infantry, that's super important. Getting out the damaged units. Singling out rangers. They're super dangerous units. Ranger down. And one moment. Regained control over another block. So this is really a fight for city blocks, city hacks after city hacks. And now I have two options. I could push forward and try to topple him over, but I still know there are a lot of forces here, so I'm directing my push forward to cut the line and encircle the units in Memorial Park. This will force him to react to me, and this way I am hanging on to the initiative here. Trying to surrender unit after unit here. And I desperately need to keep control of the city hacks, because otherwise I'm not able to reinforce any longer. So I need to push them out of here, pull a unit in here, and then replenish my defenses. Checking out the defenses here. And trying to figure out what's the weakest spot where I can do some damage. This crocodile now is the target. But again, those British units are virtually indestructible. Almost impossible to do something to a Churchill. But I'm making progress, so he is replenishing. But at the same time, they're not so good on the offensive, so those IS-2 here are a perfect match. Now he's... one moment. Trying to figure out if I'm still defending here. And yes, I am. I'm not allowing myself to be... yeah, completely outflanked. He's frantically pulling out units of here. Trying to... keep them alive, and this hex is the focal point of all fights at the moment. And now you can see Goose's strategy. He is trying to hold on to Memorial Park, but at the same time already withdrawing here to maybe hit my weak flank here and collapsing this whole area. That would be a huge win for him, because then I'm boxed in. And now comes my attack onto Memorial Park. Another tank down. That's super important, and now I can do what I was planning all along. Encircling units in here and getting rid of this lot, blocking the city hack so he can't reinforce. and making sure he is encircled. Once again, trying to, especially those heavies, have to go down. They are the biggest threat to my... They are the biggest threat to my conscripts. They are the natural counter. So here I'm trying to keep control of this bocage lane, and yeah, preventing any incursions of US units basically. Then still trying to get rid of some of those Churchills, and yeah, having not the biggest success. But finally this should force a surrender. Yeah, huge victory. Would have taken forever to kill him off, naturally. Damaging the artillery. Yeah, but he is a huge pain. And here I want to show strengths. I don't have any units back there, I think. But I want to very much discourage him from ever attacking here. Because I don't want to have any, won't want to have to use any units there. So, yeah, gaining a few hexes here. Making sure this tank is not too exposed because he's running out of ammo. Yeah, couldn't block the city hex, but I doubt he's going to reinforce here because those units are pretty much doomed. And if we can get rid of more of those Churchills, we are in a very good position. But he still has a ton of artillery here, so it's very hard for me to push forward. But he's pulling back, so we are automatically gaining a few hexes again. And this tank is toast now, so that was a mistake. But the battle now is going to get decided by the fight here. He is trying to drain my ammo and blocking the city hex. Finally he managed to do so, so this is not looking good for me. And I have to kill off this heavy infantry. And there are a ton of heavy infantry units around here. And they are shredding my conscripts. Goose is pulling out. Pretty much abandoning Memorial Park and trying to form a defensive line. So, now the attack. He has to die. That's good, now I can buy units again. And he did actually buy units, very cheap ones, but they are going to hold me back for a while. They will keep me busy at least, but now the hex is blocked again. And the attack on the British begins again. Arrows down. This will be another surrender. This is a battle of attrition. If we can keep destroying his units like that, that's good. This has to go down. I want to force him into the forest so I can hopefully finish him off. The Comet is the last really heavy tank here. Now I'm running out of money, so IS-2s are replaced by IS-1s. Trying to gain intel. And trying to get rid of Lieutenant Hammond. Those hero units are pretty tough. Well, let's take a look at the situation. Trying to prevent Goose from escaping here or reinforcing any units that might still be in here. I am trying to press my advantage because I think he is very weak here, which is correct, but there are a lot of units in the back. I didn't know about them. And my main push still is towards the north of the city, and if I can smash this group of units, it's pretty much over. And here, like I said, I just need to hold and keep his units busy. And here the same. We are basically fighting for this hex because this is the victory hex, and yeah, taking out City Hall in the back would be nice, but it's optional. For a victory, we just have to take more than him. But my defense here is pretty weak. It's all about putting units in the way so that he is busy. And the small artillery units here are pretty annoying. Colonel Carter coming back with a vengeance. Should have destroyed him earlier, but couldn't do so. And the battle with the British rages on. He's trying to exploit that I'm out of ammo. But this will be very tough to break. he gives up Memorial Park and figures I am weak here and concentrates I really think he's taking a lot of screenshots here, I don't know. There's absolutely no reason for this. I will wait a few more seconds, otherwise I'm going to skip this again. But very interestingly, he is already buying bridge engineers. This is the cheapest unit he has. So I think this will go on absolutely forever. Nope. Turn 12. And yeah, he is trying to get out of Memorial Park here and at the same time hitting me from the back, but I was prepared for that. I knew that was going to happen, and I tried to cut off his way so I can push in here, get rid of them, reinforce my position. Then I finally have to deal with this Lieutenant Carter group. Hold my ground around here. This is the hospital. Police station is already ours. And yeah, against the British, it's an attritional battle. My only problem at the moment is I'm running out of ammo. So, let's see what we can do here. Special forces in the center are down. And you are not getting out of here. And I have to destroy his incursion of units here. And this was maybe an overextension on his part. So now the heavies go down. Bishops getting pushed back and hopefully destroyed. Nope. And once again, I need to block this hex. This will make things a lot easier and should this Greyhound. Is this a Greyhound? No, this Humber needs to die because it's super annoying, gives him a lot of intel. And here I'm moving to a more defensive position because I am not able to take on the hospital at the moment. I don't have enough units. So now it's about Lieutenant Hammond. He finally has to die, but refuses to do so again. And here we go. Another hero dealt with. That leaves Lieutenant Carter. Colonel Carter it is. And here I'm sensing weakness and want to cut off his units. And once this heavy is down, we have some breathing room here. And now we outnumber him here, whittled him down. And this is at least draining ammo. So, let's see. I don't know why this keeps popping up. Here is still a lot of units, but mine are of higher quality, minus Colonel Carter. And again, if I and here is pulling back, that's good for me. Because this is a huge win of territory. Wasn't totally necessary. But he doesn't know there's nothing coming from the back. So this is faking an attack here and threatening to cut him off. I couldn't have done it, but it still did the job. He pulls back and I gained control of this huge area, including this lake. So that's a huge positional win. And he's pretty much giving up this position now. Without... Nah, he's buying reinforcements, never mind. But now he's only buying bridge engineers, so that's super good for me. And now we try to crush the British in here and gain control of the library. Unit down. Draining ammo left, right and center. Forcing surrenders. And running him completely out of ammo. And that has a double effect now, because if he tries to replenish his ammo on the spot, he is basically dead. And if he withdraws, he has to use one move withdrawing and then one move replenishing. So those three are basically out of action for 2 turns now. Final ranger unit down. Now we only have to deal with this Sherman. But that's not... yeah. I'm making sure he's down. So, Memorial Park secured. Now standoff between Colonel Shapirov and Colonel Carter. Colonel Carter decides this one for him. And now it's about gaining control of this apartment block. This will threaten his position even more. And he's falling back an entire block line. That's a huge victory. Now, still, the most dangerous units of Goose are in here. And finally, I think his defenses are starting to crumble. Comet didn't get away. Don't know if it was a Comet. But again, those Churchills are super annoying. And we'll try to surround those British forces in here and get rid of them. There's no hex where they can... there's a city hex here, so they can actually buy reinforcements here, but I'm not sure if he's going to try and hold on here. So that's it. Memorial Park is safe. And if I manage to take on the city block, this force of Lieutenant Carter is in threat of getting surrounded, and he will have, there's thick forest here, so we'll have to get out to the back. And this keeps them away from reinforcing the US units here that are now pretty much on their own. So this will allow me to collapse this whole situation. So this would be a huge win. So I'm trying to make sure to keep those separated, and especially Lieutenant Carter, Colonel Carter, he has to die. And one way of doing it is wearing him down. Blocking any attacks. Securing this position, and yeah, taking over the grocery store and finishing off those final remaining heavies would be super important. If he goes forward here, that's fine with me. Will make it easier for me to surround and kill them. And Carter is weakening. And he's frantically scrambling to establish new lines of defense. But again, once we can block one of the city hexes again, the sector is pretty much ours. Out of ammo. But not being able to do damage to him nevertheless. And he gets away once again. This guy has 7 lives, it seems. And every prestige point we can somehow earn is super important. Another infantry down. Must not get away. And continuing to build up pressure on the British units, blocking another city hex. And then I try to finish off the remainder of units here. At least the high quality units have to die. Engineer down, perfect. Once again, draining ammo. But those are super nice roadblocks. So, he needs to get rid of this scout, otherwise he is trapped in here. We already know this situation. Yeah, he will be able to do it. But his units are pretty weak now. Carter gets out again. And British are trying to disengage, draining my ammo. Yeah, Goose is trying to flood the battlefield with cheap units. And I'm trying to eke my way forward, hex by hex. And each of these relatively high quality unit that goes down is irreplaceable right now. And this Churchill is trapped. I just need to block the hacks. And can already move units forward. And one moment. What I'm doing here is double protecting this hex, so whatever happens, no more reinforcements here, and I can already move units forward to encircle the British in here, and the goal is to gain control of this whole area. So I'm threatening the US, the American units. If I can attack them from the back, yeah, Goose will completely collapse. Again, I don't have a huge force here, but Goose doesn't know that. He doesn't know where I'm attacking, so this is pretty much a feint. If he scrambles units in here, weakening other positions, that's super nice for me. Up in the north. Same game as always. Trying to gain control of a block and at the same time preventing him from withdrawing units out of it. Another surrender. Hurts him a lot, helps me a lot, and Hex is blocked. So this Hex is now doomed. This Hex is blocked. And yeah, withdrawing some of the units just to replenish a bit and not overextend. Once again, Goose has lost all of his initiative. He's now trying to keep control of the condominium, whatever that is. And one moment, frantically tries to hold me back here. And you can see him already reacting and pulling units towards this British sector, where he's highly threatened of getting overwhelmed, and he is still spamming a lot of those bridge engineers. This is super annoying, by the way. Well, we already know how this is going to end. But he doesn't have that many units. Nah, let's stop it. Let's go forward. And this is my turn. So, grocery store secured. Again, this heavy infantry is one of his last expansive units. Here's another one. Apartment secured. And the goal is to prevent those from getting out of here. Another surrender. British pocket is getting collapsed. And another Churchill is going to go down. I need to prevent him from reinforcing, so I'm boxing him in. Getting full intel and attacking this house here. Yeah. So I'm running out of ammo here. So I have to consolidate a little bit. Yeah, couldn't get rid of him. But doesn't matter, he will fall next turn. Yeah, and at least this scout is keeping Goose busy and drawing units away. This makes it a lot easier for me to go into this position. And here, Colonel Carter back from the dead. And he's trying to pull out of the condominium. So this is a huge win for him, that he was able to get his units out of here. They were already surrounded, but I wasn't able to finish them off. So, but now I have to push my advantage in the north. So we reverted this, completely reverted the situation from a desperate holding on to crushing him in here. But there's still a ton of units in the way, so this is not one, but finally another block is completely cleared. And finally Churchill down. Frees up a lot of units. And by now it's getting super difficult to keep replenishing units. So I'm getting a flam tank of my own now. And as long as I can block this hex, I'm fine. Because then I've already won this battle. So, here I'm reinforcing, because where Colonel Carter is, there is danger. He's trying to salvage the situation, once again, delay me from taking this hex over. And even sending Carter in. This is If he falls here, I think this will result in a chain reaction where he can't stop me anymore. But it seems he is giving up on the condominium. That's good. And again, he's trying to be able to buy units here. And I desperately need to prevent that. But the British pocket here is still extremely strong. So I will be hard pressed to get rid of it. Battle of the Scouts. And I think he's now pretty frustrated, but finally he finishes it off. So one moment, let's take a look at the situation. So still very strong pocket of the British, and it's super annoying to crush them because these Churchills and Crocodiles are almost impenetrable. Nothing can damage them, and it will be super difficult to take the city hall. Here I'm starting to feel a little bit threatened because this is a lot of units actually. And the hospital is not the main focus of my attack, so he's trying to regain initiative here. And at the same time, I am finally able to, get forward and hopefully attack the mall next. And here I still have to reach the end of it, but it's a very far distance. But again, those units are irreplaceable by now. So killing them off is super important. Can't go through. So this US infantry unfortunately is going to survive. And Goose now is pretty much exclusively fighting with Greyhounds and bridge engineers, it seems. Yeah, but attacking the hospital will be super difficult because of the American rocket artillery. But finally, my artillery is resupplied, and the library should be ours soon. Yeah, it's impossible to damage those Churchills. They are... Yeah, wanted to finish him off, didn't work out. But I need to keep him pressured. Once again, he's trying to push me back with all his might, but the rain is making it a little bit difficult. Yeah, like I said, the rain is preventing effective artillery fire. So we are still in control of the train depot. And he's trying to mount something of a counterattack here. But in the rain, it's very difficult to do that. And this time my units refuse to die. Finally he gets him. And a lost infantry here is dangerous for me, because there's not much in the back, if I remember correctly. And I'm also threatened here. So it's far from over. The battle can still turn. Once again, trying to deal with Carter, but again he refuses to die. And one way of dealing with this defending artillery is by running it out of ammo. Finally a good hit on Carter. And he is an expansive unit, so replenishing him is not super easy. And it's the last big heavy tank I have to face. But if I would have been able to destroy him earlier, that would have been super nice, because yeah, he is keeping Goose alive here. He's getting away. That's super troublesome. Once again, the plan is outflank. One moment. Outflank and encircle another of those city blocks. So doesn't matter if you have units here in the back. Only threatening to do so will already have an effect. And here I'm scrambling to deal with this scout incursion. That's 2 scouts dealt with, super important. And yeah, blocking the hospital hacks is crucial. But for that to happen, well, it's not so easy. Back to the British sector. Yeah, I'm trying to run this thing out of ammo somehow. Because in the rain it doesn't do that much damage. But it's apparently enough, so that wasn't worth it. But I need to try and outflank them and kill off more units. It's getting super annoying. This line he has established here is very effective in blocking me off. So Carter is once again getting out of here. Means he has to move up additional units to protect him. He is again trying to finish off units. We're at the moment both doing a good job at doing that. And once again, there's too much artillery for me to break this position. And he's not strong enough to push me back. But this combination of cheap artillery and greyhounds is proving to be difficult to overcome. Good win for him. And his front line is moving a hex forward. So at the moment he is gaining ground. Let's see if I can stop those incursions. And it has been a long battle, so mistakes are being made. But another 2 units down, super important. Another train, no, that's a house. The house has been secured. Another hex is blocked, another hex is blocked. So now I'm starting to make progress. Collapsing this line and already moving to the back of him. Now what's left is stabilizing here in the center. But now I'm running out of units too, so it's not that easy. I can't. Good. British infantry down. And train depot more or less secured, and now I'm threatening to cut off this group of Churchill and Fireflies. Let's see how he's going to react to that. And my bigger units here should be able to deal with the scout threat. Every single Greyhound that goes down. No, it's not a Greyhound, the M20. Yeah, and here the question is if I should move forward. I decide against it. If he wants to try and reinforce this anymore, this will turn into a meat grinder. And he tries to cause trouble here. Those are in a deadlock. And he goes on the offensive here, preventing me from reinforcing. But now his artillery is threatened. Trying to push me into the forest that failed. And I'm keeping him busy. Hi, Trafigo. But once these hexes are blocked, there's no need for him to, or no way for him to fight for that any longer. So he will have to fall back to the next city hex block line of defense. And he's already starting to build up there. British are holding on. But now there might be a chance. Finally get into the hospital. Precious prestige. Not able to suppress it enough to force a surrender on it. That was the plan, but didn't work out. That's another M20 down. Now I'm trying to punish this overextension and blocking the next line of defense already. Expansive infantry destroyed. And trying to pull out my poor hero scout. And draining the ammo of as many artillery units as somehow possible. Another forced surrender. That's super important. And yeah, weakening as many units as somehow possible. So this British infantry is a little bit overextended, so let's try to punish it. But there's an opening. Those infantry units have to get weakened so that they can't threaten me anymore. That's another bridge engineer down. He's... Well, but the standoff between Colonel Carter and my tank forces is going to continue, but at least now he doesn't have any experience. He is pulling back, replenishing. Trying to scout out my positions. Well, not again. Not again. His important attacks are not made yet, so I don't want to stop this. But this can go on for minutes, literally. I don't know what he's doing. That looks like an AI doing something. It seems he has stopped. But whatever he is doing now, it has broken the replay, it seems. I think we'll have to jump to turn 23. My Major Romanov somehow survived. Another crucial attack. Here he pushed me back, but didn't succeed in destroying it, because I had defending artillery prepared. Here pretty much nothing changed. He's replenishing with bridge engineers. Here Carter scored a major hit, it seems, but nothing else happened. And he didn't manage to push me back. Okay. But now I hope I can finally single out those Churchills. At least they're surrounded. And I want to remove the threat in my back. And I want to collapse this British position. Taking over the trenches. Another unit down. Another unit down, but those M20 are cheap as dirt. And those freshly reinforced units are super nice for me to attack into, because that's like a free artillery shot. Good. One more dealt with. And Carter still proving to be impregnable. So, the hospital. Still the defenses here prove to be too strong, but again, I want to try and use the rain to mitigate the fire from this Calliope. But I don't have enough power left to push in here. And finally, the churches are weakening. But the mud is not making it any easier for me. And I'm running out of prestige and steam as well, so it's not easy to keep this push going. Nice. And finally, I hope I can deal with another Churchill. But for now, priority is to block the city hall. And prevent those units from getting out. Bishop down. This was an experienced one. Yeah, and this pretty much should solve the situation with the British. If we take a look at the strategic map, the river is almost reached, but there remains a huge thorn in my side. But those Churchills and crocodiles are singled out. And yeah, Goose is very weak here, but I don't have enough units to exploit that. And in the north, still the resistance is too strong and the hospital is still holding out. It's very difficult for me to keep pushing because those M20s and in combination with those artillery units are very difficult to destroy. Finally, another one down. And I need to block more hexes here. As long as he's able to replenish all the time, that's good. Destroying artillery, destroying infantry always is super important here. There's still the threat of Colonel Carter. But again and again, those infantry units survive, and those two Galliops are making my life miserable. Huge win. But I don't have the power to exploit this. Not enough infantry. Even not having enough conscripts to break it. But at least this push with scouts here has been dealt with. Yeah, that's not good. Lieutenant Marikov is going to bite the dust. Seems to be trying to force more surrenders here. He's pulling everything. And it seems he's going to succeed. He's desperate for prestige, same as me. And that's a huge success for him. This was a very experienced unit. And now I'm open for counterattacks. Let's see how I deal with the situation. First of all, those M20s have to die. And this pesky pieces of artillery have to die as well. Good. That was super experienced already. And still Carter is putting up a fight. But I'm now concentrating on eliminating resistance in the north once and for all, so that I can focus. Another M20 down, super nice. And finally, another Churchill dealt with. Infantry down. Now he has a huge problem here. And I still need to deal with this counterattack. So, hospital is proving to be difficult. And his units somehow always refuse to die. But City Hall is firmly under control. Another bishop dealt with, blocking off. And yeah, looking good. Pushing back here. Hospital under huge threat. This incursion somehow has to be stopped, but at least we got rid of one of those 75mm artillery pieces. Still a huge buildup of US forces in the center here, but in the north, at least Goose is running out of steam now. And I'm aiming like I said, situation around the hospital is still critical. Good. Not good. Because I'm already very low on infantry here in the center. But he now has to reinforce other positions. And Lieutenant Carter is continuing to annoy me. Colonel Carter. He is so lucky he gets... Well, shop secured. Heavy weapon infantry down. Engineers down. That's super nice. M20 down. And final US infantry in here. Killed off. Perfect. Now the plan is to single out Lieutenant Colonel Carter. And somehow deal with this incursion. So, British are fighting for their life in here. More bridge engineers all around. But City Hall is secured. And finally, well, one single attack point coming through here would have been enough. But I'm so out of steam here, I have to replenish. So what I'm doing here is falling back, sending in heavier units. Goose has not much left that can deal with heavy tanks, so I'm trying to wear him down and trying to prevent getting outflanked by this M20s, because they can have scout movement. They are pretty difficult to stop. Well, it seems the replay is broken again. Let's see, turn 26. We have to start that again. But this time I won't stop it. But this is very nicely done here. This huge group is going down. Only Lieutenant Carter remaining. But the annoying thing is those two pieces of artillery got out, and this will allow him to form another line of defense. this crocodile is a problem. And now the British have to go down. This whole group has to be taken out. Yeah, and like I said, this was very, very unlucky. He is completely suppressed. One unsuppressed attack going in here would have been enough. Yeah, blocking him so he can't do anything. And already attacking the next line of defense. He's only, well, he is desperately trying to break through here. And he's right about doing so, because every single infantry unit I lose here, it's very difficult for me to replace those. Carter once again gets away. And whoever that was bites the dust. The Churchill continues to be, or the crocodile continues to be annoying. And the attack on the next line begins. Wow, that was bad. But conscripts don't see anything, so it's very difficult to be aggressive with them. That's another US infantry down. That's another US infantry down. Like I said, very difficult for him to replace. And here I want to prevent any reinforcements, because then it will be super difficult to take the art museum. I need to kill off these bridge engineers. Otherwise their number will keep growing and growing. And I have no ammo. And yeah, not the power to destroy his units anymore. So I'm trying to move around and outflank him. But finally this counter-attack has been dealt with. This frees up more units of me. And I'm trying to put on pressure wherever I can. Especially killing off bridge engineers. They are the bane of my existence. But there's no victory locations left around here, so it's not super bad. And Lieutenant Simon is still going. And if he pulls in units in here, that's super fine for me. Because like I said, there is no victory location around here. Even trying to counterattack and relieve pressure. Kind of successful. Good. Good. Those tanks have high close defense, so that was not super smart. And now the attack on the art museum is on. Another infantry unit destroyed and another block completely secured. And here he can do nothing anyways. So this crocodile doesn't bother us too much anymore. Have to keep those infantry units under control. And the art museum is blocked. So that pretty much secures our win against the US forces in the north. We just need to demolish them completely. And now about the hospital. It's blocked. But this huge array of super experienced artillery is making it super difficult for me to break through. But now I'm trying to use his own trick against him by forcing a surrender here. Didn't work. And yeah, Lieutenant Simon still alive. But the British simply have to be kept under control. That's all that matters. We need to keep pressure up and keep City Hall secure. And if we manage to kill off more of those bridge engineers, all the better. Lieutenant Carter going it, Colonel Carter going for it again. I think he might be the last hero unit. Nah, Lieutenant Simmons is alive. Simon is alive too. And more bridge engineers. And this IS-2 probably is toast. But that doesn't matter. It's a moral victory, but nothing more. The real fight is around the hospital. Hi, Goose! I've pulled out one of our older games. So, Art Museum is done for, and now it's about Colonel Carter. He annoyed me so much this whole game. He has to die. And getting demolished by conscripts. Replacement IS-2s coming up. We have to crush this counterattack on City Hall. And getting rid of his artillery is super important. Because that are the units that are able to force surrenders on me. Should have forced a surrender on him. That was a mistake. But it's 4 more turns. And the hospital is surrounded. Now this should do the trick to force the surrender, hopefully. Nope. But this should do the trick of running him out of ammo. Should have done that before. And here we go. Another piece of artillery down. And that should seal the deal. Well, I want to get rid of this crocodile also. It gave me so much trouble. Yeah, Goose now has to somehow try to push me back and hold the hospital or take back City Hall. But this will be quite impossible. So those pesky mobile artilleries now are going to bite the dust. And Churchill surrenders, adding insult to injury. And this should secure the win on the hospital. But it was extremely close here because I was completely running out of steam. Yeah, and as I'm always saying, I like city maps, by the way, so yeah. Playing in cities definitely is one of my strong points. So, final heavy infantry down. And getting rid of this extremely annoying Caldiop. No, not quite. But finally. Engineers going down. Remainder of US forces in the north going down. And without the protection of Colonel Carter, the US forces here in the center are completely doomed. The last remaining strong position are the British here. But I'm moving to a defensive stance now. Yeah, preventing all breakout attempts. And that's it. Soviet decisive victory. That was hard fought and very enjoyable fight. By the way, try out this map. Both sides have their chances, I think. So there is not really a favored side on this map, I think. The British with their Churchills are super annoying. The US tanks, especially the Pershings, they will plow through your IS-2s, and especially those, the combination of Rangers, very good infantry, and a lot of cheap artillery units can really give the Soviets a hard time here. Yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Next time we will revert back to the Wehrmacht campaign and yeah, Greece. Switching from the Soviet units to the Greek units. Yeah, let's see. I hope I can put up a good fight there. But remember, that's more about enjoying the fight and trying to figure something out and yeah, improving your gameplay, and not about winning on the Wehrmacht campaign. And sooner or later, I hope I will be able to stop Goose on the Wehrmacht maps as well. So, again, thanks for watching. See you next time. And yeah, I really invite you, try out multiplayer. It's a lot of fun. Don't be intimidated. Just hop into it and give it a go. So, see ya. Bye. Yeah, and Goose, I can win sometimes, but you're definitely having the upper hand most of the time, but it's not as one-sided as it looks on the Wehrmacht map so far. We definitely can have close and good battles. So, well, let's keep this on a little bit longer. There are still questions in the chat. Maybe Goose, if he's not around anymore, can answer this in the comments later. You can ask him on his thoughts on this map. I didn't play... I played it only once with the Soviets here, so I have no idea on special strategies for the Allies here. But yeah, I think that the problem was Goose lost initiative pretty early on, and then yeah, he had to react basically, and I forced the battle on him. So it's difficult once you're boxed in and in a defensive mindset. It's getting pretty tricky. So that's it. And yeah, if you have more questions, ask them in the comments. Goose or I am going to answer them, obviously. So thanks for watching. See ya at Greece. Bye.